now. Peace, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. This is the place where we set oppression ablaze. And we yell and we throw things and we curse and we get upset and we redirect everybody who has the energy for solutions and organizations over to Black Liberation Media. But this here is a space for grievance. Okay, this is the airing of the grievances. Okay, I will direct you to the people doing the work. And I encourage you to follow those people's lead as I need to take my own goddamn advice. But here right here, grievance. The airing of said. So this is y'all's opportunity to do that. I was attempting to put together a show today. I almost threw in the whole fucking towel for reasons, but I didn't. I said, nope. I said, we will not throw in the towel. We will have a show today and we will turn it over to y'all, the customers, the callers, the viewers, the fire fam, if you will. And I see we got some of our top-notch callers in the chat joining us tonight. So what I wanted to put to you guys is what are your predictions for 2025? And I want to be clear. I'm here for serious predictions, actual factual things that you think will either be revealed or will come to pass. Be those things serious, which is, fine because we live in serious times. But unserious answers will also be accepted because to contrast the seriousness of the times in which we do live, the absurdity of it all simply cannot be ignored. Okay. This nigga Trump said on today that we got to go get Greenland. We got to go pick up Panama. What else did he say? Canada. We have some Canadians. we have Canadians joining us, though Canadians for how much longer? Who can really say? So anywho, Will is going to go ahead and drop the link. And I know sometimes you guys need some time to get warmed up for reasons I do not understand because around here it's loosey goosey. Okay. Cameras are not a requisite if you would like to call into the Burn It Down with Kim Brown program. I understand. Oftentimes, many of us are not camera ready, myself included. Me especially. Y'all are like, I'm gonna pull a Renee Johnston on you niggas and turn the shit all the way off. You're just gonna see me talking from behind a black square. Y'all gotta guess what I'm looking like on today. So anyway, shout out to Renee. Saturdays with Renee, Black Liberation Media at 11 a.m. Eastern. Please be sure to turn on your bells and notifications and check all that out. So anywho, the link will be dropped in here soon. And to be clear, all are welcome. As much as I am oblivious to the trolls that can sometimes appear in this chat, I encourage trolls. I don't give a fuck. I assure you, nothing a troll can say to me could ever do anything to likely dissuade me from my positions and or hurt my feelings. Cause y'all, I appreciate for our esteemed team of moderators. SEAL Team 6, if you were. we the mods be on the shits, and I appreciate you guys so much for it. But I assure y'all, the trolls can never hurt my feelings. Because why, y'all? We always have to consider the source. Do we not? You know what I'm saying? I could see now if we had some bad bitches in here hating, then I would consider it. I would consider what they had to say a little more. But chances are the trolls are not bad bitches in no way, shape, or form. So they let them say what they want. I don't care. You have to consider said source. So anyway, in terms of my predictions for 2025, I am not convinced that some major things geopolitically are going to happen. Yes, that's a bold prediction, Kim. Very good. No, it appears as though the West and its allies are not faring so good. If you pay attention to what some are calling the collapse of democracy, right? What's going on in France? I'm not sure. I understand the French government finds itself in shambles. And France is one of those leading Western imperialist powers who may not see the year out because as many of the Sahel states and other states that have other nations in Africa that have been under French domination and colonization, because I think Senegal is on the list to kick out French troops next, if I'm not mistaken. Cote d'Ivoire, the chicks I follow on African TikTok says don't trust the Cote d'Ivoire leadership. The Cote d'Ivoirian people are perfectly fine, but Cote d'Ivoire leadership could be on some mole shit. But they're talking properly at the moment, talking about expelling the hundreds of French troops that are there. So it seems as though the Western African bloc of decolonization appears to be growing and spreading, which is great. So consequently, the French economy summarily might collapse because if France actually has to pay for the gold and for the minerals and for the oil and for the resources that it has been thieving from its former African colonies since and before those colonies achieved independence, as our sis Ricky Ryan would say, flag independence. You know what I'm saying? If France can't procure those resources for pennies on the dollar and they have to pay full market value for the shit, oh, the economy's going down, honey. Down. France don't have no gold mines in France. They ain't got shit in France. They got baguettes. I don't know how them baguettes is faring on the New York Stock Exchange, but the rest of the minerals is expensive. And if France got to pay for that shit on the open market, their economy is going to go down. Again, sticking in Europe, the United Kingdom, don't know what's going on there either. Keir Starmer, a younger, probably equally as dastardly version as fucking Joe Biden, this fucking liberal, this imperialist liberal, this white supremacist liberal. Yeah, Keir Starmer say somewhat of the right things, a la a Joe Biden, but fuck him, he's a piece of shit too. Now, what I find interesting or whatever the fuck's going on in the UK is that Elon Musk, and shout out to the Remix Morning Show crew. I had no idea Elon Musk was calling for suggesting a change of leadership uh, in the United Kingdom. But I did see where Elon Musk had expressed that he had lost support for Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage, I can't even call him Trump. I don't know who Nigel Farage would be. Who is Nigel Farage's equivalent? Some sniveling piece of shit, boot-looking conservative. Maybe Ted Cruz. I don't know. Ted Cruz don't run shit. He's not in part. Well, I guess he is in somewhat party leadership. Regardless, Elon said he wasn't happy with whatever job Nigel Farage was doing. I said, oh, so what? But apparently Elon holds major sway with a lot of these world leaders, which, terrifying. So while we are circling around the world, where else is happening where the democracy is in decline? South Korea. I would love to get more insight again as to what's happening in South Korea with the president in secured sequestration. Are they trying to arrest him? They're trying to lock him up. He's been impeached, right? So they're trying to get to him, but his supporters are like the J6, like the J6 hostages out there rallying outside of the presidential palace. Like, you're not going to get our homie, Mr. Soon. I think his name is Soon. So it doesn't appear as though Western allies, Western powers are doing so good at perhaps upholding the so-called pillars of democracy. And maybe this is how the fall of Western imperialism hopefully begins. If the democracies have to fall in the so-called motherlands, then so be it. So be it. And Trump already has guaranteed that, there may not have to be a need for any further presidential elections in the United States. And I think that is likely what is terrifying people the most, is that Trump is going to bring about the end of the current way of life that a lot of people know, and ending the way of life in which we know. I'm not sure in what forms does that take. Does that include continued exorbitant prices in grocery stores and for basic household goods? If he slaps those tariffs on on the imports. Yep, that would be a shock, I think, to many consumers in this country, having potentially to pay what I call tourist prices. You guys ever forgot your toothpaste or your lotion, or God forbid, black woman, did you forget your hair products before you left the country? did you forget did you forget something that is integral to your beauty routine? Oh, well, when you go to the store in whatever fucking foreign country you're going to, at least the ones I've been to, expect them prices to be at least double, or a third to double what you would pay here. So expect tourist prices domestically for everything, for all the things. That's going to be a shock to folks. In terms of the deportation, I'm not exactly sure what form that will take. Though I am interested, and I know there is a number of groups here in the DC, Maryland area that do tremendous outreach and support for immigrant communities, for undocumented communities. I mean, I can't, like, my neighborhood is mostly black and brown, with some gentrifying scragglers in here. The gentrifiers is trying to come through PG County. I said, wait, hold on. Pump your brakes. But I don't know the status of a lot of my brown neighbors. But I would imagine there's likely some undocumented folks, and I can't see Homeland Security or La Migra just rolling up my street and nobody say/do anything. Just watch people get taken away. I can't see that happening. Not to say that it won't be attempted, but I don't know, again, what this is going to look like in so-called sanctuary cities versus states and or municipalities that are absolutely willing to cooperate with the Trump administration when it comes to deporting masses and masses of folks. It would be nice if neighbors did come out and protect folks if they saw something like that happening. I'm not sure if people are ready to do that, though. I think that is just some political education, and I hope some videos get produced and widely circulated so people can know what their rights are and what their neighbors' rights potentially are. And I've actually seen some videos posted by some immigration lawyers for people working on the job. If immigration shows up to the job and they're trying to question people/take people, undocumented folks have rights in this country. Okay, fuck Trump, right? You have rights to a lot of things in terms of your constitutional rights against, Fourth Amendment search and seizure. You have a right to attorney. So it's important that all of us, not just undocumented folks, familiarize ourselves with what rights undocumented folks do have. So if you happen to be a bystander, God forbid, and you see some fucking crazy shit, you can say something, you know, so long as it's safe for you. Ain't no point in two people going to jail. I'm sorry, that's fucked up. But I'm just keeping it all the way 1000. I think another thing, so there's a number of things that I think are going to happen this year that are going to be continuations of things that began last year. And included in that, I hope, is the scrutiny and let's say deplatforming of the billionaire class, and celebrities. I'm hoping that people in the masses of Americans are finally beginning to wake up. Class consciousness is being tossed around way more than I think I have ever heard it repeated, I suppose, in the overall conversation. I won't say mainstream conversation, because mainstream media outlets in particular are not interested in any sort of discussions or analysis when it comes to class in America. We're supposed to see ourselves as class free in the United States. And, we have an equal opportunity economy. And if you just work hard enough, you too could be a millionaire/billionaire. Well, I'm hoping, and I think I'm seeing the evidence that many Americans, people in this country, are starting to wake up and understand that is not likely nor plausible in many people's circumstances, right? If you become a millionaire in the US, you have found yourself very lucky, or you have just acquiesced and capitulated to play the game by any means, right? Which means that you will ascend up the so-called ladder of success by either exploiting the labor of others, by being an outright shithead who lacks integrity on the job, right? Either taking credit for other people's work or trying to backstab or malign others in order to advance your own career. And we've all worked with said dirtbags, right? So anyway, but there's to me, success in America has definitely equates some sort of deficiency in your character, right? Especially if you look at those that are sitting at the tippy top. I wouldn't exactly call these folks good people or people that are using their wealth, influence, and power to the overall benefit of the whole, to everybody, right? And I'm glad that a real asshole like Elon Musk is really showing everybody that I was shocked that not everybody knew Elon was an asshole. I thought this was common knowledge. But from what I understand, younger generations in particular, Gen Zs and the like, Gen Alphas, they are under the misimpression, the misunderstanding that Elon Musk is some smart person. That's how he acquired his wealth. No, no, no. Elon did not found Tesla nor SpaceX, okay? When he bought those companies that were already established, when he bought them, he made some stipulations, some clauses in there that he had to be named also as a founder of the company. Well, he didn't found a fucking thing. None of the things that have made him famous or that have given him any level of prestige, these technologies already existed, and Elon had the money and just came along and took credit for the shit. Okay, that does not make him a genius, certainly does not make him a good person. But for some reason, younger folks seem to think that Elon had built all this shit by himself. I said, oh, wow. The baby's too easily manipulated out here. That's what I was talking. We was talking a little bit earlier about this on the Remix Morning Show. Why did I know why the children be falling for all kinds of goofy shit? Because they lack the life experience, and there's no way to acquire life game, as it were, sitting behind a fucking screen. Okay, you go out and you understand game, and when game is being run on you by going out there in them streets, okay, talking to people, engaging with people, putting yourselves in different relationships, not necessarily romantic, but different kinds of relationships and engagements with folks, is how you acquire and ascertain discernment in game. And young folks is never going to get that game from behind the screen. I don't give a fuck how good you can work the AI. I don't give a goddamn how well your chat GPT skills are. That shit don't make a goddamn. That's how your little niggas keep getting scammed. But anyway, and scammed forever by thinking these billionaires are geniuses and good people. They are not. They are exploiters. So as that continues to be made more evident and made much more glaring to the masses, the reverence in which billionaires and entrepreneurs and capitalists are held, I see that further eroding, right? And I think whatever is going to go on with Luigi Maglione with that trial, because expect that to be a sham, expect that to be a very the word I was going to use was polarizing, but I disagree now. I disagree with myself. I actually think it's going to be a very unifying. I think Luigi's trials, state and federal, I'm not sure which one is on the docket first, but I think Luigi's trials, in fact, will be unifying. They could, in fact, be galvanizing. And the government needs to understand the way that they present this case. If the shit looks funny in the light, that is going to continue to dissolve people's faith in judicial institutions. Fucking Trump, not being made for anything bad to happen to him as a result of these felony convictions. He gets to take his felony convictions onto the White House and serve. For the MAGA folks, I'm sure they're happy about that. But for everybody else, we're like, the fuck? What in the world? What felony? What job is the average person getting called back for once they disclose on their application that they have a felony conviction, let alone dozens of felony convictions, right? And the ways in which white male privilege continues to show itself and demonstrate that don't nothing bad happen if you are of a certain ilk within that gender race distinction, right? If you are at the tippy top, it's all good. Or even if you're not at the tippy top, the J6 hostages, the fact that Trump calls these niggas hostages is the funniest shit in the world. When the J6 hostages get pardoned, that is also going to be a shot, I think, to to people's grasp of how justice is in fact dispersed. And I hope that once the J6 hostages are pardoned, more and more Black people and brown people will continue to abandon faith in the judicial system, stop expecting that Lady Justice is indeed blind. She is not. Lady Justice sees money, race, and class very clearly and dispenses, quote, justice accordingly. And if you got a rich, powerful, comparable felon on your side and you're white, there's no stopping you in America. The continued dissolving of the admiration of celebrity is something else that I see going down in 2025. Can we point to a little, oh, maybe not, maybe poetic justice is not the right term, but I saw on the news this evening about the wildfires that continue to plague Southern California. If you guys remember, or maybe you did not hear this, maybe a week ago, less than 2 weeks, I believe, in Malibu's Most Wanted, one of my favorite movies. So I'm sorry. You guys had to know that. I just had to tell you that. I told y'all I have impeccable taste in film. So Malibu's Most Wanted, mwah, right up there. Excellent performances all around. I digress. Hold on. So in Malibu, there was these wildfires that actually forced the evacuation of Jay-Z and Beyonce. $200 million Malibu beach mansion. I think they had to evacuate. I don't even know if they was fucking there. They got 14 houses. They didn't have to be there, but their house was in danger. So whoever the fuck was there, the staff, the dogs and shit, they had to leave. And today's wildfires have broken out in Pacific Palisades, and they had James Woods on the news. You guys know who James Woods is. Just a decent actor who is a whole dickhead. He's a whole MAGA fun boy. But I'm like, look at this. Look at James Woods having to flee a roaring inferno. Look at Jay-Z and Beyonce's most expensive home ever sold in the state of California. Look at y'all having to flee from the flames. Let the flames be a symbolic device here. You know what I'm saying? Let all the celebrity, let all the admiration and you know shit we put on celebrities, let that all burn, let it go down, let it flow. What I'm hoping is that people who have been harmed by celebrities or by the Hollywood machine will be validated, that they will be believed. My real hope is that they will be compensated. I hope compensation is forthcoming. So on TikTok, I didn't realize this, but on your For You page, sometimes it will recycle, not necessarily or present to you, not necessarily the latest content produced, but content you may not have seen and may be a couple weeks old, few weeks old, a month old. And on my For You page, Torre showed up on my joint. I don't follow Torre. And I'm like, I really kind of get annoyed when I get content from people that I don't like and I don't follow. And Torre was like, and this case against Jay-Z is just falling apart. And I'm like, and I looked, I'm like, oh, this is from a couple weeks ago. Okay. Referring to the civil case alleging that Jay-Z and Diddy SA'd a 13-year-old girl after Video Music Awards. And what was that? 01, 2000? I can't fucking remember. Regardless, And I said, look at the water boy carrying water. Torre, that is. Torre is Team Jigga out here. And listen, I'm Team Truth. I want whatever happened to be made evident to everybody. I don't disbelieve the allegations simply because I don't put shit past dudes. Okay? Like, you're almost going to have to prove to me that Jay-Z and Diddy did not do what they are accused of. Why? Because I don't put shit past dudes. And it doesn't matter the status, the bank account, the level of celebrity that said dude has. Bad men are capable of fucking anything. Okay? Literally and figuratively. Okay, like and I want to see the truth come out, not only in that case, but I'm sure the other cases that are to come. And I don't have a particular vendetta against any one any specific celebrity going down. I just want all the bad ones to go down. If there are good ones, let them stand, let them remain. But if the time is winding down, what Diddy has already got as far as the jail is concerned. Like, even if Diddy gets out and whatever the fuck happens, like, nigga, the indignity. Woo! How far the mighty have fallen. Woo! That's just crazy. But if it's coming for others, if it's coming for Jigga, if it's coming for Russell, if it's coming for T.I., like, I'm trying to think of who are the likely suspects. But I also want to see the less recognizable, powerful people go down, right? Because without question, police were involved in whatever this sex trafficking, Diddy freak off, Hollywood web of celebrity and abuse and all the bad things. There's no question that law enforcement was involved. It would not shock me if there were political figures involved. It would not shock me if the titans of industry, the top executives, CEOs across a myriad of industries were also involved. Those people need to be unmasked and revealed. As much as I giggle with giddy when I see a Jaguar Wright video pop up. Oh shit, Jew Jag about to drag. I'm kind of bored now of hearing whatever potential celebrities may be involved, whoever got bent over. I don't even care. I want to know. I want to know who all the dirt balls are, not just the recognizable one, not just the black ones, not just the visible ones. I want to know them all. I want to know them all. Because again, people need to abandon this idealism of rich, successful equals hardworking and good. It doesn't. It seldom has ever meant those things, right? Andrew Carnegie, JP Morgan, Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, pieces of shit. All of them. All of them. The people that were lording over us during the first Gilded Age in the United States, not good people. Roosevelt's included. Throw them in there. And the pieces of shit that we have with us right now, also not good, but exponentially, I suppose, more dangerous. Because the level of insidiousness that people like Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and all these goofballs, the level of intrusion that they have into our lives, into our private information, into our data, I think is forebodes a more dangerous exploitation, not only of how the rich have, or rather the ruling class has exploited the labor of the poor and the working class. No, these people are going to be exploiting our essence, ourselves, our beings, our brains, our ideas, our thoughts. It's very Black Mirror. And if you haven't seen Black Mirror on Netflix, I can't over recommend it. However, I do not recommend watching it in chronological order. Didn't I put there was a chart that I had found I found very helpful. I said, oh, thank God I found this chart and to dictate what order to watch Black Mirror episodes in. Because if I'd have just watched it, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, this shit would have fucked me up. It would have fucked me up. And trust me, the episodes of Black Mirror that I did see fucked me up all the way. Because I said, oh, all this looks very plausible. All this looks so likely. Oh, and then they rolled out the robot dogs. I said, oh, fuck you, Boston Dynamics, you pieces of shit. Why? Why do I know now that fiction is inspiring life? Get me out of here. Beam me up. So I guess y'all have no predictions. Y'all have no predictions. What else do I predict?
We got people.
Oh shit, you didn't say nothing.
My bad. I thought you was gonna say, yeah. But anyway, Don Hammond is here. Vesper X is here. You want both of them on there?
Oh, yup. Come on up here. Come on up here, Nefu.
Studale.
Uhuru King, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, I got
Both of
two
us.
kings. Two kings up here. Love it.
Hey,
Vesper,
beautiful
how you
people.
doing?
What's the deal? What's the deal? Auntie, so
Uncle. It's uncle. It's uncle today, nephew.
oh, I forgot. Yeah, you got the method man. You got the yeah. Mm-hmm. Look here. Now, which camera are we working with here? America, I'm talking to you.
Talk to America, baby.
Grocery gang, I need y'all to step in here. Why did I have to pay $20 for a carton of eggs?
What?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My mama was making the New Year's Eve potato salad. We literally just oversight ran out of eggs, right? I goes to the local Statler Brothers, Brother Stater, if you will. And these niggas is $17.
For a carton of eggs? Are we talking 12 eggs? Was this
12?
This
Not
one 24
16.
eggs.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
My mama got the receipt is in my mama purse. I'd be pulling it up right now if she was here. But yes, good Lord. So one of my predictions is either America gonna get it together, I'ma leave America, or I'ma lose my fucking mind. That's all. I'm done with y'all, America.
Nephew, let me tell you how right that everything. America's gonna get its shit together. I'm gonna leave America, or I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. It is literally those three options for me as well, nephew. Like I have no expectation that the first one is going to come to pass. That third one might be happening right now in real time.
Already.
Uh-huh. I'm already looking at places. I'm looking for places outside the country that will meet my needs.
Your predictions, Vesper X 2025. What do you see coming down the pike?
She said a lot. Like a lot of the stuff I obviously agree with you. Like I wouldn't be watching you if I didn't agree with you on pretty much 90% of everything. So like Kim, what are we gonna do? Like, because this honestly, my prediction is the whole thing is gonna come collapsing, but at the same time, their cruelty knows no end. So even as it's collapsing, they've already made it very clear that they don't care. They're going to ride this thing until the wheels fall off. And then when the wheels fall off, they're going to put us on the wheels and use us as fucking tires to keep the thing going. So like, I'm just trying to tell everybody about General Strike US. And, pray, hope for the best, plan for the worst. That's what I'm doing. But I can't make any predictions with Trump because Trump is a wild card.
Trump is a wild card. And, one of the things, unfortunately, that is a very easy prediction is that we are likely to have more climate disasters,
Yep.
Not just this year, in the coming years. What happened in North Carolina, in Eastern Tennessee with the hurricane, just absolutely decimating that part of the country. Like people are not ready for that right? Like people that live in coastal areas, you live in Florida, you can anticipate a category 4 storm, as devastating as it may be. But people that live inland and are not accustomed to certain weather events, especially if they become more frequent and God forbid more commonplace, that's the shit I'm concerned about. Like y'all should see me. I have a TikTok shop fucking addiction. I got the TikTok shop got ham radios on sale right now. Like TikTok shop got heirloom seed packets. I mean, the TikTok shop will have you fucking ready to bunker it the fuck down. But I think it's wise to start to assemble, even if it's piecemeal, your boogie bags, your go bags, your not fuck around bags, your ability to produce power if the grid goes down, your ability to produce food. Like y'all, I don't have a green thumb. I'm thinking of starting a garden this year. Why? Because my nephew said the goddamn eggs is $17. You know what I'm saying? But then with people who I like, one of my neighbors did have hens, had chickens in the backyard. But the avian flu, what if you can have your own livestock as it were, and the shit could get infected with a calamity, and then what? That's a food source that you no longer have. So I don't want to forebode the collapse of everything, but I think regardless if Trump is in office or not, it could be Kamala. It's going to be the same thing, even though, like you said, Vesper, Trump's cruelty knows no bounds, but it's going to be a different variation of the cruelty, right?
But not just Trump, the billionaire class. I mean, they were laughing at people during Occupy. Like those videos are circulating now. So like they've already made it very clear that I mean, the top 1% is trying to leave the planet because they fucked it up. And then the ones right below them are trying to build bunkers because they can't afford to leave the planet. Like they already know they messed up. So, I mean, the only thing we can do is, like I always say, one drop of purity can cleanse a cesspool, teaching people about what's really going on, those that are close to us, and preparing for the worst and hoping for the best, because some of us, like myself, like I can get the seeds, but I don't have a place to plant them. Not everybody has, like most people right now are just barely scraping by the grace of God. I'm one of them, and I'm still doing my thing. It really is by the grace of God, but I know people that are worse off than me, and I don't even know like how they're doing it and how they haven't lost their minds over these last 4 years.
You know what else I'm afraid of, guys? I'm afraid that, for nephew's second suggestion to leave the country, I'm afraid these motherfuckers are gonna close the border. Now you can't leave.
Mexico already said no. Mexico's already deporting people that are staying there. Yeah.
Girl, why somebody in the chat asked me if Thims was dragon eggs, and I'm deceased. 6 feet under.
Well, those Targaryen eggs. What kind of eggs? What in the hell?
Like, did you steal them from Daenerys or something? Like, what's going on? Oh, God.
And then I wanted to answer your question, Vesper. How have I been surviving delusion? Benders. And a little political education to go in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Yep. Because you will not play with me. You will not play with my sanity and stuff like that.
Ooh.
My peace is more important. That's how I feel. Yeah.
And that's what I want a lot of folks to understand. Like, I think I saw some comments this morning in the remix chat that we're not taking Trump seriously and the threats that he poses. No, the opposite. I take Trump very seriously. But if I demonstrated or performed how seriously I take Trump, I'd be despondent. I'd be on the fucking ground sobbing in a puddle. Listen, I am a black person from this country. I have to laugh at this shit, okay?
Yes.
If I don't, it will crush me. It will destroy me. I have to find the humor in the cruelty, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? In some of the shit that, like, whatever the fuck Trump shit was talking today, y'all. Where are my Canadians? Canada should be concerned. I think Canada should be on full alert. I think Canada needs to get its military at the ready, because Trump may be seriously contemplating some sort of oddball thing on one of these countries, Panama, Greenland, like, and it's like,
Yep.
but I don't slough him off when he says things like that, right? And I don't think that people in these other countries, particularly Panama, actually, fuck Canada. Canada's white. They might have a say in the thing. Panama needs to be at the ready, at full military hilt. And what if China decides to back Panama in some potential conflict?
Y'all, I got a good prediction. And I just thought about this because of my research. By the end of 2025, either Vietnam or Cuba will have cured both HIV and AIDS and lung cancer. That is their trajectory. That Vietnam is currently making incredible strides. They've surpassed Cuba only just recently in HIV care, but we will not forget that it is Cuba that ended parent-to-child HIV transmission. So the Socialist International will move forward, and the capitalist global material domination will continue to pursue auto-cannibalism.
Wow. Don, thank you so much for saying that, because lung cancer is one of the leading killers in America, right? And I'm telling you, if more Americans knew that Cuba, thank you for telling me that there's a
Russia.
cure. I know they had a vaccine. I know Cuba has a very effective vaccine against lung cancer, which is bananas to think about. But if Americans knew that a fucking lung cancer vaccine was available 90 miles offshore, and you can't go get it, your pawpaw can't go get it. Why? Because of some ignorant ass decades long blockade, because they run their shit better than our shit, even in spite of the blockade. Like, people don't really understand how much of the shithole country is this one, is the one that you were in.
Yes, the United States is very much the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the celebrities are having to run from climate disaster, bro. And then look, girl, I did the exchange rate on them educations and stuff like that. Now, unless I ain't, unless I don't know how to do the Googles, very simple. The price of an education in a socialist country versus the price of an education within just the California state universities, something is not adding up. Somebody ain't doing the math right. Which camera am I working? No, I'm on the computer. Get it together. Thank you.
They won't.
I have a few predictions, y'all.
What's up? Some good, right? I mean, good.
I have a feeling that Trump is going to deport Elon at some point. That's definitely on a bingo card.
Interesting.
Because think about it. He could deport him, seize all his funds, take everything, take all his companies. If he really wanted to, once he's in office, he can completely take everything away from that man and deport him. That's one prediction, because he's getting on his nerves already. It's obvious, right? He's only going along with it because he's the piggy bank. But I mean, what's going to stop him from just taking the whole fucking piggy bank and throwing him out, right? So there's that. I also think that there will be some type of UFO disclosure, because they're already doing it. I don't know if you saw some of the conspiracy theories going around about these two attacks and UFOs and stuff. It seems very interesting, and not at all like something that the FBI or CIA would try to do to justify their existence so that they can't be thrown away by Trump. Which I think is what they're doing. I think a lot of these things that we're seeing that we all recognize immediately, like the internet immediately says, oh, it's a psyop, right? They're not believing it. I think all of these things are being done on purpose so that they can justify their existence and need for funding. Not,
and it's funny though, because the two New Year's Day so-called terrorist attacks really just underscore what everybody ought to know in case they don't know. Fuck all the shit about ISIS inspired, baby. The biggest threats to national
but who created
security,
ISIS?
everybody's safety is people that are born and raised right here. Like, we don't have to worry about the terrorists crossing the border, or did ISIS infiltrate, or whoever the fuck. No, look to your U.S. military ranks if you want to find the next domestic terrorist, because he's right there waiting, and he's well trained waiting.
Right. And also don't look, you know what I'm saying? We're looking within our communities for some problem. And that is not the spaces we, and I was just talking about this with Brother Geechee the other night. So what we need to do is we need to go and we need to identify the most vulnerable populations within our communities. We need to juxtapose their needs with the needs of the most vulnerable, who you can immediately get your grasp on. Like for me, that's like the brothers on the street versus my nieces and nephew and stuff like that. You have to juxtapose those two needs and then move forward. I'm hoping that an organization will see that. And I'm hoping that I'm hoping that the African petty bourgeoisie in the institutions particularly will lose their steam, to be completely honest, or do something, right? For all of the relevance of Black studies, not too many people was at the youth and student working groups, you know what I'm saying, for the Black is Back Coalition. And, we was putting it out there, just saying,
Listen,
it would be nice.
One thing, what was I just had it on the tip of my tongue.
Sorry.
No, you're fine, Vesper. You know what? Uncle smokes a lot of trees, so sometimes the thoughts come in and they go out like the weave, whatever.
Yes. Don't you just love the way that, like, the smoke just be dancing sometimes, especially when you indoors and it just dance across the dance, because there ain't nobody else. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, baby. Listen, they had to legalize a lot of our vices because, again, people were probably chomping at the bit to revolt. You know what I mean? Like, they had to legalize weed, they legalized gambling. I'm waiting for sex work for the trifecta. Fuck it. It's y'all legalizing shit. Let's just go ahead and legalize all the vices as much as we can. But they're not going to do that because women will have too much autonomy, and they don't want that to happen.
And we're real close to it here in Georgia. Legalization.
Really?
Yes, I already got my CBD card.
Oh, congratulations!
You gotta get two separate ones. You're gonna have to get a CBD and a THC card.
It's a CBD/low THC card. So it's part of the same system. They're already ramping it up, but I'm already seeing them draft up legislation here to make it completely legal. And and that, I mean, like, anything to help people save money, because going to the plug is more expensive than going to the store.
Really?
Bro, I just had that contradiction the other week. I was one of my high school brubs. I had to support, you know what I'm saying? They not doing the deals right. It ain't right.
Right. Like, I mean, some of these websites, it's like half the price.
Literally
half the price, because they're doing it at scale.
Yes.
So,
hey, Auntie, who you think gonna give us the album of 2025? Who? I don't want to know what the context is gonna be or nothing. I say, who you think gonna give us the album of 2025?
Me.
I was gonna
just play.
Because this was the first name that popped in my head, and I have no idea. Nandi Bushnell, the little girl. She's not little. She's grown up or growing up. The teen girl who was a drumming protege, who got taken under the wing by the likes of Lenny Kravitz and Dave Grohl and the such. And I've been such a big fan of her since her videos started percolating like 10 years ago. So I guess she's a grown up now, but I hope she's working on something because she's an incredible musician. coming out of the UK. She's so sweet. Her mama's black, so she got,
Okay.
Cal got the rhythm in her, But let me tell you this for 2025, guys. One of the, to your point, Dawn and Vesper, when we're talking about the most vulnerable amongst us that we have to look out for, y'all, disabled people are going to be on the chopping block in many, many, many ways. And with Trump talking about dissolving the Department of Education, I really think a lot of these, especially these white MAGA moms who have children with special needs, or they have IEPs or whatever like that, they are going to be in for a rude awakening once they discover that the Department of Education and the federal government, as flawed and as imperfect as it all is, but is providing mandated legal resources, you know what I'm saying? For their children to have accommodations in school, in extracurricular activities. I think disabled people are going to be targeted for, on the low end, disrespect, and on the high end, just straight up either violence from people or violence from the state, more because it's just acceptable to target disabled folks with violence, with indignity, with disrespect. And I want, like, for example, the woman, and I don't know if she was disabled, I don't know what her deal was, but the lady who unfortunately tragically got burned up on the New York City train, I want people to fucking step in. Like, I need people to just to wake up and get out of their phone screen. I need people to be fucking present and not be fucking cowards. Like, I feel as though the cell phone record, I'm gonna record, or I'm not gonna say no, dude, I'm just gonna record, and that's fine. Record to document or whatever. But if you see someone in the process of getting harmed and you have the ability to either stop it or mitigate it or literally do something as opposed to nothing, that is something I'm hoping people will activate. I don't want to see us continue. That was an episode of Black Mirror too. I think it was called like White Owl or some shit, where all people did was record terrible shit happening to people and no one stepped in and did a fucking thing. I don't want to see that continue. I would love to see that sort of get reversed and people be willing to intercede if they can.
Yes,
I could tell you stories. I could tell you stories, Ken.
I know, and I know it's a trouble.
Like,
it's a delicate thing. One Musa, our brother Musa came and told us on the morning show about a domestic violence incident they witnessed and intervened and got threatened. You know what I'm saying? And Musa is trained in about that action, right? But it's dangerous, and so I don't have a solution. I don't have like a good like I don't have a good resolution now how people can intercede and try to keep others safe while keeping themselves safe. I don't have no good way to suggest how to do that, but I just hate the fact that people will stand by and watch others be harmed or suffer or die without doing a goddamn thing. That shit really hurt my feelings to see that woman get burned up in New York and everybody just stood around and watched, cops included.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, baby.
Okay, so I got a story from New York. I was just sitting there on a bench, and a guy just randomly, an old guy who had money, just randomly started punching me. No reason, because I was sitting on his bench. Apparently, everybody around pulls out their phones and starts recording, and then one woman with the phone in my face says, "Call 911."
Oh my God.
I said, bitch, I'm a little busy right now. Maybe you could put the phone down and call 911.
I'm not laughing at you, Vesper. I'm laughing at
No, I know. But that
you.
happened in 2011. So nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
I told you guys, what the fuck? See, I don't want to attribute all this crazy shit simply to New York City because this is America.
No, but it's New York.
But dog, I told y'all I got attacked in New York. I was walking through Times Square, walking back to the bus. I was about to get back on the bus, carry my happy ass back down the road to Baltimore. And this boy, man, I don't know, was walking towards me. It's 4:30 in the afternoon. It's May. The streets is crowded. And as we're passing each other, he elbows me in the middle of my chest. Hard, right? Hard. People go, did anyone grab him? Did anyone ask me, was I okay? The answer is
right.
No.
That would have been the first question. Did anybody ask, are you okay?
No.
I literally I had to, because I'm one of them, I see kids falling and I dive. That's why I can't work in the elementary school. I literally had to stop myself from just now from acting it out from America. Did you see how I did that? Look, let me show you how you snatch. Real quick, it was. Did you even see my hand? You shouldn't have, because that's how quick
I
you
mean,
got.
this is where we live now. Like this is, and the thing about it is, there will always be 100 people that'll pull out their camera, but there will always be at least one person that might try to help. You know, I'm one of those people that'll laugh if I see somebody fall, but I'll also ask in the middle of laughing, "Are you okay?"
Now
Like
listen, I'm over here in Orange County, Southern California, carrying my happy, fine black ass down the street, listening to Janet Jackson, right? So yes, literally, if you I already know, you know what song. So I'm looking at, and then all of a sudden I catch the eye of this young car full of two young white boys. They literally, as I turned the corner, because I'm a nigga and I'm a pedestrian, so I'll be taking shortcuts and stuff like that. So I might pop up on the street, you know what I'm saying, all of a sudden, where it might not look like pedestrians should have came from, right? So they see me, they literally did like this, okay? Get several feet, yards down the way to the bus stop, right? And crowded bus stop, and they want to yell out nigger, like Beach and Orange Thorpe, you know what I'm saying? Southern California. We're not even in the you gotta go some south some more for that. Because
I don't know, Orange County is pretty Republican, but
California
still,
right now, that sanctuary city status.
That's
But
wild.
at the end of that, I was sharing my story with the cashier at the and a random bystanding North American white lady gave me a ride home, made sure I got home safe. You know what I'm saying? And I hope to see her in Uhuru Solidarity. I explained to her that her dedicating her time and resources to make sure that I got home safe was in fact reparations, and that we are winning.
We're gonna win. I agree, and I'm sorry that happened to you, Dawn. And I hate the fact that in the 21st century, just simply existing as black in this rotten fucking colony can elicit just unprovoked violence. I mean, hurling a racial slur at you for some white boys, that is a violence. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
But I wasn't just existing, right? I was being fine, black, loud. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't just like, if anybody in the chat has ever seen my Instagram, I'll be having that shit on. I pops flavor and I drip sauce everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So like it is, so in that quick moment, right? Whiteness is supposed to be safe, and they supposed to be safe over there with the, Trump just got elected, and my fine queer ass got the nerve to be walking down the street, walking to the beat of Janet Jackson all night. Of course, this perturbs them. You know what I'm saying? So I think people are whiteness, right? And that white identity is in crisis, and that crisis represents itself through the Christian nationalism that we're seeing and stuff like that, and especially through the Trump election, right?
Yup. And that whiteness, it's not going to save non-white people. It may not even save all the whites, because now you got to have whiteness with equity. You feel me? Like, you can't just be white out here, because Elon Musk and Trump and Vivek Ramaswamy have told the whites, "Hey, your whiteness ain't cutting the mustard." You know what I'm saying? Your sons want to play Halo all goddamn day. We can't get them to come in here.
I just heard what you just said. Not cutting the mustard. I'm dead.
The whiteness is not even enough out here, and that's why. And see, this is what I'm hoping the whites themselves understand as a collective. You know what I'm saying? Your whiteness is not even going to save you out here in these coming calamities. Human induced, environmentally induced, politically induced. Your whiteness is not going to be enough. And generally, I feel like there is a collapse pending, and many have already talked about it. But with the diversion, people driving these young people past, young millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alphas, steering them towards STEM, and ain't gonna be no fucking STEM jobs. Them niggas is not gonna be hiring programmers and whatever. What's the shit? What's the young people tell me what the jobs are? With data analysts, IT specialists, all that shit.
Engineers.
Engineers, thank you, baby. Engineers.
I had
Ain't
to
no,
really. I was like, huh? Okay.
ain't gonna be no more trains for y'all. No, I know it's not trains, but it's not gonna be no engineering jobs. They are
Ain't gonna be no
outsourcing.
infrastructure. This country don't care about infrastructure. Baby, no.
Whatever AI can't do, you know, then they may find a job for you. But they're gonna make sure that AI can do all the things pertaining to computers and programming and engineering and all of that. So now all of you have a couple of generations of young folks who have spent all this money. Their parents has gone in debt and having this bad, you know, student loan debt hanging over their heads. Can't start families, can't buy homes, can't do a rack of shit, can't move out of your parents' house. Why? And you got this wonderful, beautiful advanced degree that you can't get a goddamn job for. Wait till them whites figure that shit out. And Vivek already told
They're
them,
already
like, no,
figuring it out.
right? It's not going to be your son. We're not hiring your kids for these good STEM jobs. No, we have to import this labor.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like I said, we have too many of the African petty bourgeoisie fighting to maintain their lifestyle at the behest of the community. They're fighting to maintain their positions in these institutions, then complaining about the way the institutions are run and the way they go down, but don't make any attempt to subvert that. Right? You say you got too many classes and you're grading a lot. Okay, hire some SIs, professional experts from the movement, right? Bring the movement to your institution. Do something tangible. I want to see in 2025, I want to undeniably see the connection between Black studies, Africana studies, all of it, and the community. I want to see it. It better be slapping me in the face.
I think by the time we get through this whole Trump term, we might be getting it. We might be getting close, because I'm already seeing it right now, because I follow all kinds of different circles to try to keep my finger on the pulse and not keep myself in a silo. And there's a lot of libertarians out there that are starting to sound like socialists, because I think they're starting to realize that in order for the individual to have liberty, the collective has to have liberty. And that's really the only difference, that ideological difference. So I think my prediction is that we're going to see a lot more, independence, free, people that aren't in the duopoly mindset coming over to socialism or alternatives, and maybe even working with libertarians for a third party option, because I see a lot of overlap there. And another prediction I think is going to happen is all I know is instant karma is increasing, and I don't think that that's going to stop. I'm just going to leave it at that.
I was gonna say, give me an example. Who got their instant karma that you saw happen in real time?
There's a whole, like, you could do a search for instant karma and tons of videos come up, but I've just been seeing it happen one after the other, like Trudeau, right? He went down to Mar-a-Lago, kissed the ring, and then came back and got kicked out. And now the woman that resigned and opened the door for him to be kicked out is first on the list to be prime minister. The one that was saying that she was going to, another one. What I think is it Saudi? It's either the UAE or Saudi Arabia, one of them or both of them. I don't know, but they had a huge flood overnight last night.
no.
I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, they had a huge deluge of water on the desert, and then of course, like, they don't even know how many people are missing.
Oh,
right?
damn!
It's bad. Yeah, I mean, it was just like it was like the typical climate change floods, but in the middle of the desert, and they were not expecting it. But who was the major oil producers?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, all the chickens are gonna come home to roost, and everything that all of us have put out there, whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't matter. Individuals, collectives, doesn't matter. Whatever you put out there is all gonna start coming back now. And so, that's why I'm not worried, because I'm right with God. I'm right with my soul. I know I haven't been, actively and trying to harm people. So all those people out there harming folks, don't be asking why God why when the instant karma slaps you in the face.
I'm with the instant karma. I couldn't
Yeah,
be
the
more for
karma.
it. What's up, Will?
Will.
We got what's
Hey,
up?
Will.
Thank y'all for coming through. Hit that like button. We got 2 F's and we got our guy Ditso Dan in the chat. I mean in the queue ready to go.
Hey, bring everybody up. Fuck it, bring them
Woohoo,
all
and
up.
if you didn't hit the like button, you ugly.
Tell them, nephew. Tell them, nephew.
Everybody up.
Yeah, bring everybody up because we just y'all. The StreamYard bill was stupid, and
Oh my
StreamYard
goodness.
and the plan that we have for StreamYard allows us to have 15 people. So fuck it, it's
Shit.
everybody. Come on up here.
You
Get up
paid for it.
Right, let's paid for the shit. 2 F's and Dead Ditso. What's up?
Hey,
Yeah.
Brad, it's so
Hey,
good
well.
to see you people. Yes.
Don Hammonds, Vesper, Dan, Kim.
Casper, Dan, Kim.
Oh, the good
Happy
people.
New Year. Happy New Year.
Dan, can you host? Dan, because there's some American refugees coming your way, and it is us. We are coming.
Yes, Dan, come on the way.
Look, I'm gonna explain it this way. First reaction: Trump got elected. No surprise there. Second reaction: Gulf of America and Panama is taking us too much shit. Well, our response is we do not overestimate nor underestimate his words. We know what he means and we know exactly what we have to do to fuck his day up. And we will, like we did in the last 4 years. However, keep in consideration that Latin America, at least 5-6 countries are facing elections this year, either legislative or general elections. Amongst them, Xiomara Castro from Honduras will be facing elections by November this year. So she only has this few months coming up, and we don't know who is going to be appointed and anointed to the Honduras election yet. So that's something to look at. Ecuador is facing a potential re-election of Novoa, etc. But I'm gonna say it this way. You know what's funny to us? And I'm sorry if this term is going to create some sense, but the gringo mentality seems to be unaware that you're catching up to the history of Latin America. That you're catching up to the inefficiency and destruction of the bipartisan model. It's dying. Republicans and Democrats is dying. Multi-party, you're either going into the direction of Venezuela, my second country, mi segunda patria, or you're going into the direction of what happened in Costa Rica and other Latin American countries, which was the multi-party system getting more and more presses into it. Whichever the two routes you take, you're catching up to what has happened in the last 20, 25 years in Latin America. Adding to the fact that this insults and this hostile actions by the not yet president of the United States is opening the doors for China to reinforce their presence here. And I, as a critic of imperialism, either United States, China, Russia, or Europe, no, thank you. We do not. Many of us do not trust the United States. Do not trust China. Do not trust Russia. Do not trust Europe. That's a given. But it undoubtedly it's going to open doors. For example, just what was it? 24 hours ago, Indonesia has been accepted to BRICS. That adds into the whole conversation in that sense. So I'm gonna. Sorry to take it over. You know me, I talk a lot. But I'm gonna make it simple. Predictions for this year, 2025 of the human era, or 2025 if you're using the Gregorian calendar. I don't use Gregorian, but anyhow. I see the breakage, especially by actors like myself that are pressuring the United Nations to end the war on drugs as a bit more effective. The conversations are regarding reparations, especially after what happened almost 2 years ago in Belgium via the CELAC and the CARICOM, will continue growing, especially from Latin America towards and against Europe. I also see a change a lot into the dynamics of Latin America, particularly with the representation of Claudia Sheinbaum, the actual president, the current president of Mexico, and with the attempts of Milei to become that other light in Latin America. I mean, I'm giving you both polarities in that sense. So I also see a very grave situation for Venezuela. My country is coming. My second country, Costa Rica, is coming into elections this year, so I got to see how that works out, and I'll be playing a big role on that one in my ways, like I have done so in the last 4 or 5 elections during my lifetime. But the relation towards the United States is going to be cold. We're not going to help you anymore with the migration, irregular migration. We are not going to help you anymore with the drug war, except with our compromises with the international law. We're going to keep to ourselves. So I'm sorry to tell you all of this, but if you want to travel out, look, gringos bitch about the irregular migration that happens because of displacement, because of violence and interventionism and internal issues in each countries. Well, we bitch about that United States sends to us your pedophiles, your criminals, your scammers, your fraudsters to our countries. So negotiation is simple. You want us to help you with the irregular migration that, yes, it affects our areas too. Well, we want you to not send us your criminals either. I think it's an even thing.
Vanguard up.
The European Americans, they can't help themselves. They are well, except Franny and Vesper, of course, but the rest of them, no. Inherent criminality. It is in the genetics. No, thank you so much for that, Dan, because I'm seeing anecdotally different stories about European Americans coming to places like Mexico, coming to places like Costa Rica, not only overstaying their visas, immigrating illegally, right, not going through the proper channels. But then having the audacity to sit in these countries and complain about no the state of the infrastructure, just complain. The nigga, then go the fuck back home. What don't sit up here breathing up all the Mexican air if it's not to your liking. Carry your ass back across the border. But
Okay.
no, the Central American lifestyle is attractive to Americans. The cost of living is more comparable, I suppose. The food is better, right? Everything's organic. It's beautiful down there, gorgeous weather, and you're going to have a hard time getting these whites out of your countries, plural, because I think there's going to be some significant reverse migration coming. But I also think you're going to have Black people trying to flee as well. You know what I mean? And for those that opt not to go to Europe or can't make it all the way to Africa, I think you should expect to see more Black people from the United States come.
Can I address something real quickly?
Mhm,
And I think it's important, and eventually in another program we can dwell into it. Specifically, aka Western Hemisphere, aka America, aka North, Central, South, and Caribbean. The migration of Blackness of U.S. citizens towards Latin America Blackness is welcome, sure, but that you leave your gringoness home. If you're coming back and you're experiencing the Blackness, the FBAs, and the ADOS from Latin America and coming into our communities and adapting yourself into those communities, leave your gringoness home.
You better say that. honestly, a word was said. You know what I'm saying? I personally can't wait to go and add to the cooperation that's already happening between Vietnamese institutions and hopefully between like Vietnam and Cuba. I would love to see some collaboration on the developments, the medical developments between Cuba and Vietnam. That's also one of my predictions for 2025 is the increased strength of the Socialist International. Uhuru.
Well, look, I'm not a socialist. I'm what's considered in Latin America as liberal, a true liberal. I stand by the construction of liberal constitutions, classical liberal constitutions, as they have been done so for the past 200 years. I stand by clear limitations towards the actionability of governance, either executive, legislative, or through the judicial system. The problems of feeling of seeing judicial systems, like Kim said earlier, behaving because it's more relevant what the money gives than what justice should be done. It's not something exclusive to the United States. It's happening everywhere. However, there's also another element that we have to talk about, which is in the judicial systems, the excessive workload in matters of cases and the duration of cases. But that would go into the discussions of family law, of civil laws as such, the contractual, family, so on. And also in the other arena, the penal or criminal overflow that is happening, because one of the major aspects is the war on drugs and how that feeds up into the whole system. And then the relation of internally, how all those elements of judicial precedence work to uphold justice as that notion of resolution of conflict, if we could just say on that term, both internally and externally. I'll give you an example in my country. Look, a few years back, a Canadian enterprise, Infinito Gold, came here and tried to mine our gold. We protested. We beat Infinito Gold, and this was not the first time. We did that with Alcoa back in the 70s. When a company, doesn't matter if it's US, Canadian, Russian, Chinese, or even hell, from next door Panama, wants to come to our countries and fuck our own natural resources, we're going to kick their asses and we're going to get them out of there. If you can come with a company, you respect what is happening in this country. And yes, there's a grade of nationalism into that. However, the problem with what was done in the protest is that we did not substitute. And I was one of those people saying, okay, we can kick ass Infinito Gold, but we cannot leave that area alone. We have to substitute what Infinito was trying to do in order not to have the problems that we're having right now, which is Nicaraguenses coming down and organized crime and illegally mining the gold and taking it out. And we don't have the resources to stop them. So when you're doing problem solving, you also have to think on the macro, micro, and mid-level of the scenarios that you're trying to work out.
If that was a liberal analysis, then I'm scared what you gonna do when you grow up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If child, you did that.
Listen, obviously, liberal has different definitions and interpretations depending on whence and where it originates. Franny French,
How are ya?
loving you.
Girl, your skin looks so bright.
What? What's
Your
that?
skin looks so bright. It looks, yes. You're giving me very much, yes.
Thank you. I think that, yeah, thank you. I look, it's like all washed out for some reason. I don't know why, but that's cool. I don't care.
That's anti-racism. Look at it. Beautiful skin, glowing. That's look at Vesper. You know what I'm saying? Vesper.
Some white don't crack.
That's right. That is
Somewhere.
correct.
And I
Because
think you have to have a good fucking heart and be a Pan-Africanist, and then you'll preserve your natural, shit and all that.
and moisturize.
Hate ages people. It's just, hate will age them.
People. Yeah. And I think too, I learned a tip a long time ago. Someone told me when, back when you're young and you're like, I don't give a fuck about that. Why would I care about that? But this lady said to me, always wash your face in cold water. And I was like, okay. I've been doing that ever since.
I call it a black dermatologist.
The other day, well, and they find these people like these 9,000-year-old men like in the Alps and shit, and they still have skin and hair. They only look 8,000, like they're but anyway, yeah.
But Franny French, Oregon is one of those states that where whiteness is not enough. It was founded as a white ethno state, but at the same time, it's white folks out there by and large in those encampments, not exclusively white folks, but it's a lot of them out there. And for that Supreme Court ruling that came down last year that made sleeping outside of the fucking criminal offense, all of that is about to be exacerbated.
Yeah, that was only in one Oregon city, which is not anywhere near Portland. But the houseless problem here, it's out of control. It's huge. And, we have fucking shitty weather here in the winter. And every time it rains really hard, I can't help but think like there's people living in tents and getting battered with this, and it gets cold overnight. Like it's a pretty mild climate, but overnight it can really drop down just so cold. And I'm like, this is fucking sick the way people are living in this country.
Solidarity with the people suffering through the American Zionist genocide of Gaza, who are surviving winter on top of conditions we could never conceive.
Right. Like,
but it is interesting, like you said, though, Fran. Like, it's a small city, but yet somehow nationally, it's been criminalized. Have you noticed that? The way that the police have been acting, they've been just rounding people up and throwing them in jail and not even giving them their due process or nothing because of that one little small town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, look at Dickface. I'm sorry, Don, your governor, Gavin Dickface Newman. Or Newsom. I don't even care. It's Newman, whatever.
Say it wrong. It's all disrespect.
Yes, on his entire lineage.
Gavin. I'm sorry. I'm sure what Gavin. What is that? But anyway, I shouldn't say that because actually, I have a comrade whose kid is named Gavin, and I'm like, why would you do that? But anyway, that's cool. But right after that, that's when I think he personally went down. Don, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he personally went down to one of these encampments under a bridge and was like personally throwing people's shit away.
Yep.
Can you fucking imagine? Like people, that's like all your possessions. Like imagine you came home every day and all your shit was gone from your house.
The governor of your great state himself came in your shit.
And Dan, that's what
the worst thing about that, though.
That's what liberals do in America, unfortunately, in the United States, Dan. That's how liberals behave. They come and throw away the possessions of unhoused people.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about it is, though, in those possessions is usually all the things that they need in order to get government assistance, like IDs, birth certificates, proof of address, or proof of something, proof of income. Like, and it's usually somewhere in their tent, and they just toss it away like it's trash.
Yeah.
Like.
It's so inhumane.
It's cruelty. We need to start calling it what it is. It's cruelty for the sake of cruelty.
Yeah,
nothing else.
We having an election coming up, and the next one is where they gonna choose them Congress folks and the governors and whatnot, right?
2025,
or is it next year? Midterms, right? Winter midterm is mine.
26.
26. Marjorie Taylor Greene's coming for off seat.
Oh, that's right. I forgot she was out of Georgia. Listen,
You know, if we're talking for
Right.
Like all of this shit. Like it's like this is like we haven't even made it through the first month. We haven't even made it for the first couple weeks. Like
I mean,
we
but
haven't even made it to the inauguration.
listen, I think our lives and the quality of our lives and of people that we love and people that are vulnerable and marginalized, I think all of those things are worth fighting for. I don't know if this concept of American democracy is worth fighting for. I mean,
Yep.
we should. What is there harm or fault or a reason why we shouldn't just let them fucking have it? Like, just have it. Like, y'all can just go ahead and take it. Just do what you want. What do y'all want to do with the shit? Y'all want us to resegregate? Fine. Like, just show me where the black part of town is. I will go there. You know what I'm saying? That means y'all can't come over here and gentrify. But I know the white people don't know the boundaries, so that don't matter. But like, I mean, is it? Do we fight or do we resign ourselves to just let them have it? Because it's wild. Because the Trump and the MAGAites seemingly have gotten a majority of what they want. They're going to continue to push for what they want. I know it's going to be at our expense, but it's like, even when they get what they want, they're not happy. They're still pissed. What are y'all pissed about? Y'all fucking won. What are you mad for? But they still mad.
Because they have hate in their hearts and there's no room for love. That's why.
I agree
And
with
the fact is, like, they fight for things that they want, but they don't fight for things that they need. Versus we fight for things that we need.
Yeah.
You know, healthcare, food, housing.
It seems like though, like years ago, I don't know when, but it just seemed like all the politicians on either side of the ass stop talking about the poor. They talk about the middle class, but I don't think there really is a middle class. Who's the middle class? Who is that? Like, you know,
The professors and stuff. But they in
The mil-
crisis just
now it's the millionaires.
right. Oh, that's right. Like you're poor if you make like $700,000 a year.
Yeah.
I fucking forgot. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing okay. I'm not going to personally complain, but you know, why don't you fucking care? Not you, but I mean, like, why doesn't one fucking care about other people? Like, I just cannot. Like every day, I ask myself that existential question: why do other people not give a fuck about other people? And you know, it's not like I'm so naive that like, oh, I expect fairness. I don't. I mean, in everything I know, it looks like the world isn't fair, but I still think that it's worth, you know, having a little fire inside you about like, you need to care about other people. Like, why wouldn't you do that? We are a human family. The earth is our home. We're all here together. And give a fuck, you know? You know, and burn the system down because I mean, obviously, you know, all that, you know.
Yes, look, build. Which camera am I working here? America. Build the African economic independence. That is the All African Peoples Empowerment and Development Program. Join an organization. Are you looking at me, America? America. I need eye contact, okay? Join an organization. White people, I would prefer you join the solidarity component of the Uhuru movement. But get it together.
Can I make another prediction for 2025? Africa is rising. Africa is rising. I'm so encouraged from the news that comes from the continent. With it's like every month, there's a different shoe dropping in a former colonized place that are telling the French to get out, telling the United States to pack your shit, get the fuck out, making some of these resource exploiters, these mining companies that come from Australia and Canada and all these different places, telling them you can either pack your shit or pay what you owe. Like, I love that. Like, I'm so encouraged to see that. Of course, we always want to send protection around brother Traore, since apparently he has ducked and dodged a number of assassination attempts, and I'm sure there's going to be more forthcoming. But in whatever way that we in the West can stand with everything that is happening good on the continent, we need to do that.
Yep.
And that I want to see more of that. And maybe they'll let us come back home. And to Dan's point, like that, like, listen, if you're talking about going abroad, if you want to flee for obvious reasons, I don't fault anybody for wanting to run away, especially if you have the ability to. But yes, you cannot go to these places and be American. Okay, you have to fucking do better. You cannot go to Latin America. You cannot go to Mexico. Cannot go to Costa Rica. Cannot go to Belize and think that you're going to Americanize the situation. Right? That's incorrect. You cannot go to Africa and be Black American. Fuck all that shit. I disagree with the foundational Black Americans. I disagree with the ADOS movement. It's very xenophobic and narrow-minded to only want reparations for one group impacted by global slavery. That's ridiculous. Like all marginalized people in this globe were impacted and continue to be impacted by the effects of the slave trade and everything and the colonization that came since and before. So no, we don't want just reparations for us. We want them for everybody. We want to reclaim all of our things from the colonizers and the imperialists. So I don't agree with ADOS. But my point is, don't go to these other places and be American. God damn it, be better.
Yeah. And can I just say one thing here? And this is not a prediction, but it is something that I think about a lot, because for a good 10, 15 years, I've been hearing people I respect online and people who I follow and everything. And they all kind of say the same thing, which is as if they had a crystal ball. And they always say, well, it's going to get worse before it gets better. No, fuck you. Fuck you. Here's why. Stop fucking saying that. We have to stop saying that, because when you keep kicking that can down the road, there's never a better.
Right.
And it feels like a collective, pessimism, right? It's like human pessimism here. And like, you don't know that, A, and B, you're just going to keep saying it. And I think it's for people to, now it might get worse before it gets better, but that doesn't mean that you knew that. I feel like we are in one of the like worst times in human history in terms of the climate crisis, the oppression of Black people throughout the diaspora and other people, the shitting on the poor, the austerity. Look at this live stream genocide that we're seeing. It's not the only genocide going on, right? There's child slave labor going on in the Congo, and which Israel is also tied to that shit. So and the U.S. I mean, Israel is the U.S. The U.S. is doing these things. Like Israel is not Israel is doing these things, but Israel is like a state. It's like, it's just all coming from empire, I think. But I also just feel like, there's only two roads that we can go down. One, we all die, right? And all the plants and animals with us. And I don't think the animals are real happy about that. I'm sure they're like, what? It's not up to you,
The orcas have already spoken.
Yeah. Oh, orcas. But it's just like there's two roads. One, we stay on capitalism and imperialism, and we will all perish from that one way or another. Or we take another road. We burn that shit down, and the people take the power, and we have something that is, a global system, not one system, but like in every country, we have the full complement of human rights for every single person on this fucking planet, because otherwise we're dying. And, I've said this to friends and they go, well, that wouldn't be such a bad thing if human beings died out. I'm like, yeah, but it would be like a murder suicide. This is a natural, expiration date for human beings. That might not happen for another 500,000 or 1 million years. So this is not a natural thing. So I hate these people who just sit back and they're like, well, that wouldn't be so bad. Then the cockroaches could take over. Like, do you hear yourself? Like, I'm sorry. Like, even if I were to die like 10 minutes from now, I still want the human race to go on, because there's more good than bad in this human family, I think, or we would have been dead a long time ago. But we're at this point where we're really, we're at a precipice. This is the worst. So quit fucking saying that other thing. Yeah, I'm done. I have my set. Oh, and also I did my nails.
Yay, Franny. No, I agree. Like, listen, because humans want to destroy the ecosystems. I don't think other animal life should suffer as a result. I think it's extremely fucked up that all the marine life has to swim through all of our bullshit, all of our oil extraction. The avian life is suffering tremendously. Bird populations are way down. And of course, the number of endangered and extinct animals continues to grow, and it's all because of human intervention, basically because of capitalism. And no, I want the Earth to clap back. I'm just sad that I'm gonna be included in the clap back, and I didn't do it, Earth. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do it.
I think trees are people too.
Totally. Listen, I hug the trees. I have 2 trees on the other side of my sidewalk. And when the spring comes, I go and give them hugs. I told them they're doing a good job. Good job, tree. So
and
it's a good way to ground yourself.
No one will. Is Auntie? Am I the one frozen?
Are you frozen?
No one will mess with my mama's plants. Not here.
I don't.
Girl, somebody said in the chat. Somebody said Anglo pessimism, and I'm just now getting up off the floor.
I like Anglo pessimism. Yeah,
I really.
You know what I'm talking about, right? That's all I just going to get worse before. It sounds like an old white guy. What the fuck? It sounds like an old fucking white guy. Arrogant.
Right, and then they said Auntie Kim looked like Erica Babage.
Okay, yeah, y'all go. There y'all go.
What are they saying about me? Come here, say it to my face, chat. Just kidding.
No, I love y'all. See, y'all look at y'all, my brave soldiers out here, because y'all know how ferocious the chat can be. And y'all come up here anyway to take it or give it, or however the dynamic goes. But I love y'all for doing that. My butt is getting numb sitting here. I'm in this room. It's cold as a motherfucker in Maryland right now, y'all. It's probably like 14 goddamn degrees. Listen, they was out there funeralizing Jimmy Carter today. Jimmy Carter, they sent Jimmy Carter going on home to yonder. And I said, look at all them niggas out there freezing their ass off. It's cold as shit. It's cold.
Really?
Did you get a lot of snow there, Kim?
We got I'm gonna guess maybe about 8 inches, 6 to 8 inches around, which is enough to paralyze DC, which is why kids have enjoyed 2 consecutive days off of school. Some school systems have even canceled school for tomorrow. Not Will though. Will's got to go to school tomorrow and kick the truth to the young black youth. So that's why we're about to wrap this up. So I'm going to turn Will loose so he can enjoy the rest of his evening. But everybody that's pictured, I want everyone to give a parting shot. And I don't care what you say. Well, don't get the strike. Don't get the channel a strike. but aside from that, keep it in the community guidelines. But leave us with a thought. Let's go clockwise from the top.
Uhuru, y'all, like I said, forward ever, backward never. We really are winning as imperialism displays its crisis, and this manifests through global destruction. In that pursuit of destruction, we, the peoples of the world, the makers of history, are winning. Uhuru.
I just want to say, like, to everyone, this next 4 years are going to be rough. To know what you can do that is within your control and what you can't do, because what you can't do, don't even stress about it. Only focus on what you can do, because each of us are able to do little things in our own daily life that can help make the world a little better. And that's really all you can do as a human in this situation, because we don't have the power, but we do have the power to make little change and help others along the way. And if we do that, we'll all get through. And again, instant karma, it will be coming back. And I also want to end on this. I have planned to drop a song or an album every Friday from this Friday all the way to the end of the year.
Nice.
So I got new music coming out this Friday. Follow me for all the on all the socials at DJ Vesper if you want to keep updates on what's coming out next.
Yeah, I love your channel.
Thank you, love.
I ain't even know that was you, brother man. I'm literally not even putting those things together. I've seen DJ Vesper, so I was like, why do I keep
Yeah, you
seeing
got a channel. It's good.
right? All of the Black liberation people. Honestly, this is a beautiful community, and that's one of the things that I did want to like deeply unite with, right? Whatever, I don't care what what's going on outside, or honestly, but just this community here. Look, if you are in the chat, are you looking? Which camera?
It's on Kim.
Okay, yeah, chat. I love you.
Over there. Don, you just looked in the wrong camera. I'm just letting you know.
Dang.
Dude, I don't know what to say.
Screens.
I just want to say, like, I think love is the greatest teacher. I think love is the most powerful thing in the world. And I think, cultivate love, like self-love is so important, right? So that's something everybody should work on, even if it feels hard, even if you got treated like a piece of crap in your childhood or something, like, find ways to love yourself and heal all those parts of yourself. And because I think that then goes outward. And I do, we do have a collective, consciousness and whatever you want to call that, or whatever origin you think that emanates from, but it's a real thing. And we will win. I agree with Don on that, and I have felt that for a long time, that we will win. So
okay,
yeah, I'm gonna say one more thing though, touching on what you just said though. Hate doesn't have the patience for love. That's why we're gonna win.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Okay, Auntie, let me gear out in the snow for a little bit.
Yeah.
Hi, Peggy. Hi.
Thank you guys so much.
Love you, Kim.
Well, I love you.
Love
guys.
you, Kim.
Pieces
I
so
love
much.
you more because I'm
Love
taller.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
honored to be on the screen with these two. You got chat guys.
And
hey,
listen,
chats.
That's what I'm saying. The collective chats undefeated. Fire Fam, the remixers, and I know y'all peruse other channels. Shout out to Diallo, and African World Order over there, bro. Diallo, please go subscribe and support. To all of our comrades that are out here trying to kick the truth, to all the youths and the non-youths. So thank you all for calling up. Thank you to my nephew Don, to Franny Fresh, DJ Vesper X. Thank you so much to Dan.
Thanks for having us on.
Dan, I'm telling you, please, we coming, Dan. we are leaving that gringo mentality behind. We are not bringing the gringo down with us when we come to your beautiful spaces. But don't be afraid to fight and to flee, gang. It's okay. It's okay. I don't find cowardice or any sort of diminishment if you choose to exit, or if you have the ability to exit, or if you have to remain and even fight for your own survival, right? I think both are very worthy and appropriate things to do. So I think we're in for a rocky year at minimum. I don't know if we'll make it to 4 years. Fuck it, we'll see. No guarantees, but so long as we make sure that we continue to share and not hoard, right? Share information, share resources, share love, share solidarity. Don't hoard. Don't keep things to yourself. Well, keep your business to yourself, yes, but don't hoard on things that can be mutually beneficial, right? To those, especially that those deserve it. Around you, and especially those that need it. So those are my little janky words of wisdom. So anyway, Wilbert, do you have anything parting you'd like to drop on the people? Any gems? My YN, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't teach old people slang because that's all they say.
Very true. No, just like and subscribe. Got a got a great things coming 2025. So yep, like and subscribe, y'all. Have a good night.
I want to thank everybody. Thank you especially to our wonderful moderators. Thank you so much to Latif, Learn Life, Anna Hart, Dawn Bird, Afraid Not, Tyler, my son. I saw my niece Alicia in here. I saw Swery Ferry in the building. Hold on. Can I see the fucking chat? Kind of. I can see it a little bit. Who else we got in there? Oh, I see Stren. What's up, Stren? Thank you for coming through. Appreciate that. Holly Horn. Holly Horn, America about to invade your country. Get ready. All y'all non-violent Canadians, y'all better get y'all pew-pews together because the Patriots are coming. Shit. Anyway. So thanks to everybody. Thank you. Who are my regulars in here? Chichi Macha, thank you so much. Oh, Project Dystopia, appreciate you. Angela Jones, Pamela Jones. Thank you. Oh, Leah's in the building. Thank you so much, Leah. We appreciate you being here. YouTube Academics. Wendy is in the building. Thank you so much to Wendy. We appreciate it. Yes, Project Dystopia. Appreciate it. Yes, of course. Chichi Macha, Holly Horde. KJ Sakuma in the building. Shout out to my brubs. What's up, James? What's up, Latif? Who else are my brubs? The one from BK. Come on through. The one from BK. Head on a fucking swivel if you in New York, my nigga, because New York is wilding right now. Dog is wilding. Should we talk about the NYPD on Friday? Y'all, the NYPD shambles, y'all. It's in fucking disarray and shambles. You love to see it, though. All right. That's enough. Bye, niece Alicia. Thank you so much. All right, gang. Shout out to Damian Stoner Loner. I'm not sure if Damian's in here, but we appreciate all of the folks, them. So don't forget, Remix Morning Show tomorrow, Women's Wednesdays, probably plus come out. So tune into that. Subscribe to Black Liberation Media. Subscribe to Bro Diallo. Subscribe to Africa World Order. Subscribe to Kalechi Okafor. Subscribe to Status Quo and everybody we like. And unsubscribe to people we don't like. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's hating. I don't advocate hating. But anyway, thank you to Will and Molly, and we'll see y'all back here on Friday. See y'all later. Bye-bye, y'all. Deuces. Thank you.